8 things that interior designers can get away with that home stagers cannot. So let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome to St. James Home Staging, where we talk about all things home staging. I am Mona, your luxury home specialist, and if you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So before we get into it, let me just throw this disclaimer out there. Design is subjective. So there's not really a right or a wrong way to do a thing when it comes to design. However, as a stager, you don't have as much license or free reign to kind of get extra creative and go all out there. So what I mean by that is interior designers, their audience, their clientele is the individual whom they're trying to design for. So they can do all kinds of eccentric things in the house because they are just working for that household or that, like I said, the individual. We're stagers, we're trying to get a property sold or help others get their property sold. So we are not trying to accommodate or appease the seller per se. We're more so trying to attract a general audience. And so we have to be careful that we are designing or staging a property to appeal to the masses. Make sense? Okay, so if you choose to use these tips, knock yourself out. If you don't, no judgment here. As a matter of fact, I would love for you to comment below if you tried some of these things. How did it work for you? Do you still use some of these things or whichever? But overall, I guess what I'm saying is I do not do these and I don't really recommend that you do them. But again, if you do, then no judgment here. Okay, let's get into it. Seriously, let's get into it. So my first tip, which is probably going to be the most unpopular opinion, but here goes, it is backwards books. You can't really get away with that and think that that looks normal. I promise you, I know it's a trendy thing to do, but it's awkward and it kind of doesn't make sense to the buyers or potential buyers that are walking in the house. Unless they're in the world of staging and they get, this is one of the things stagers do, to them, it is weird. So with interior designers, they can bring that look in, they can approach that look and say, hey, homeowner, do you like this look? And if the homeowner is like, yes, I do, let's do that, that's pretty cool, then they can go ahead and knock it out. I don't know that even interior designers really do that. I just think it's kind of something that was trendy. So what I would recommend you do, instead of turning your books backwards for that cohesive look, is to make sure that you just go out and get wrapping paper or book covers or whatever matches so you can cover the books up. I know you've probably heard take the book covers off because it looks nice. I 100% agree. But also, if you're just going for that one color, you're gonna have a ton of different colors underneath the book cover. So just buy you the color paper that you're looking for, the color book cover that you're looking for, and go with that. That makes more sense. It's less weird. But let me know in the comments if you feel some kind of way about me saying that. So this next tip is actually kind of almost common sense, I would think, but you just never know. I'm just gonna put it out there just for the sake of putting it out there. Lots of colors, especially bright colors. You can definitely incorporate a variety of colors in the house, but when you start incorporating too much color, it's a sensory overload. If anyone who does color consults, they can explain to you the feeling and the mood that you get, the actual response that a person gives when they put a red color in the room or a blue color in the room. Restaurants have this down to a science. There's a reason why certain restaurants are certain colors and all of that good stuff. But your color makes a difference, so you don't want excessively bright colors and you don't want harsh colors or too many of them. So yes, designers can definitely do that. They can do some amazing things with color where stagers need to be able to not turn people off by appealing to their specific taste. So stay away from the excessively bright colors. Keep a monochromatic scheme. It doesn't have to be beige or boring or gray. It can definitely have, as they say, pops of color in it, but you just need to be very strategic and calculated when incorporating color. Not too bright, not too much. Watch the color. Next up, candles. This is a big fat negative. Do not, I repeat, do not put candles in a home that you have staged and light the candles. This is completely a bad idea. It's great for videos if that's something you want to do, but I would not recommend going to anyone's house and lighting anything at all. This is 100% a liability issue. I wouldn't do it. If you're going to incorporate candles, let them be battery operated on a timer or something, but do not bring candles into the home that someone is going to light or be encouraged to light. Realtors will not likely do that, but you just never know. So you don't want to set someone up and say, I want a fragrance in the house. I see the stager has left a candle. Let me go ahead and light it. And before you know it, house is in flames. So just don't even chance it, because fingers will start getting pointed on the stager. Well, look, you don't need these kind of problems. Listen, there's too many other options than actual candles. Interior designers have a lot more leeway in incorporating candles within a home, because it's not that likely the interior designer is actually going to be the one to light the candle. So it will be there in the home, and if the homeowner is tempted to actually utilize the candle, that's 100% on the homeowner to do that. So stagers, we don't want to encourage anyone whatsoever. And when I'm saying anyone, at this point I'm really talking about a realtor or real estate agent. I know that people won't come to view a house and then let's light this candle. Obviously that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying you just don't want to encourage anyone to do anything that can get you blamed. There's too many other options, so just nix the candles. Permanent fixtures. So this one is kind of a gray area. Not to say that home stagers don't ever do any major permanent installations within properties, but the idea is to be more cost effective and have the home move quickly from underneath the cellar. Tearing down walls and doing month-long projects and ripping up floors and carpets, that's a little less cost effective, and it's not great time management. Where interior designers tend to be able to take a lot more time to get the homeowner that is in the property what they want so that they can continue to live there for however long they desire to live there. So they're going to be more inclined to go out and get the permits and, have the licensing or whatever it is that they need to make that place more desirable for the individual living there. And if that means tearing down a wall and moving a bathroom over somewhere else, then they're gonna do it, where that's just not really what we're doing as home stagers. Hopefully I made that make sense. So that actually rolls over into my next tip, which is taking weeks or months to complete a job. Interior designers actually have this luxury to do this. One of the things that you'll often find out with interior designers is that they're actually ordering specialized components to place inside the house, whether it's a type of floor, or a door from Italy, or some type of fabric for the drapes, or whichever. They don't have much control over the people who they're purchasing the items from if they're shipping them and there's a delay or a turnaround. So home interior design projects, can take way longer than a home stager should take, because our job is to actually get the property moved faster than the average houses on the market, and preferably for over asking price, right? So our goal is different from interior designers. Definitely not a hit at interior designers because they do need specialized items often, and they just don't have that in their inventory because for a designer, each property should be unique because they're doing the things specific for their client. We as home stagers can, depending on the type of housing, can generally use the same or similar items within our home. And if we can't find the item that we want, we don't need to call out or order out to get it and wait for it for months. We can just find an alternative. At least we should be able to do that. So we do not want to take longer to do an installation than we should. If you're needing an idea or wanting to know, well, how long does it typically take to do an installation? Depending on the size of the job and depending on the location, I like to complete a project within a weekend, 24 hours to 48 hours. Sometimes you can knock it out in a day. I'm really early riser. And once you're getting into a project, if you're like me, you're in that project and you just don't want to stop until that project is done, then you're probably going to knock it out within the 24-hour time frame. But allot yourself some time for contingencies. 48 hours a weekend, 2 days, maybe 3 max. But even that's a little extreme to me. Let me know if you're staging homes, what is the average time that you all take to stage your properties? Personalization of the home. What does that look like? Well, obviously, pictures. You don't need pictures all over the place of yourself or of your lovely children or your spouse, your wedding day, your nana, your pop. You don't need any pictures to say, hey, someone else lives in this home when someone walks into it. They need to come into your house and feel like, I can live here. I can put my family pictures on that mantle. I can go ahead and hang up, I don't know, portraits of Nana and Pop back in the day. I can do that. Like, it doesn't feel like I have to remove someone else's life to fit my life in there. It just kind of makes a person feel detached when you have personalized items. So this one can be overlooked often because it is not the type of space that you give a first thought to. It's kind of a secondary thought. And that is your closets. You're fully loading your closet, especially if the homeowner lives there. So an idea to avoid overloading the closets, even if the homeowner lives there, is ask them, what pieces do you wear on a regular? And then have them put away everything they don't wear in a nicely stored chest or some sort of container that they can put underneath the bed, out of sight, out of mind, but easily accessible if they ever needed to go back and get it. That's kind of something that will help the declutter process, but also it will open up the closet space. Interior designers more so can design a closet in a sense where they're putting all of the homeowner's clothes and items in there so that they can feel happy to grab and reach and just enjoy their closet to the fullest. Utilize it for what a closet is meant to be used for. So, as a home stager, we definitely want to make sure that we are bringing the openness to a closet. Obviously, items will be in there, but neatly store your shoes. Get rid of some of those boxes or put your shoes in the boxes. So many ideas of how you can just open up the space in the closet. You guys are creative. There's so many options out there. Definitely check that out, but consider how you're fully loading the closet or just allowing the occupied stage home to be overused just because the people live there. So my last tip for what interior designers can get away with that home stagers cannot is using pricey, valuable items. This is kind of self-explanatory. There's people in and out that property left and right on a regular at any given time, and there's no sign-in sheet. Probably not even any cameras. So you don't want your expensive items or accessories, televisions, all of that in the home, accessible to all kind of random people. So that is all that I have for you today. And remember, there are always outliers. There are always exceptions to the rule. So Just be smart, be safe, use wisdom, and remember you are